Hey guys, welcome back to Blue Collar Creatures. My name is Nick, and today what I'm working on is the brake pedal assembly and bracket that's going to sit on our frame on our T out there. And so we've kind of got, you know, the basics done. We've got the holes drilled and whatnot to mount the pedal, but we'd still kind of like to church it up a little bit. So it's not your conventional under the floor brake pedal assembly, but it's also not your most conventional roadster either. So with that being said, let's get cracking. All right, so what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've measured the distance from like the tippy top, not necessarily the tippy top, but the this corner right here, or this edge rather, right about here. And so what we're gonna be able to do is be able to kind of wrap the bracket so it doesn't look like much now, but we'll make all the bends and curves with the measurement. Okay, so as you can see, I measured all the different points, and I went ahead and I used our brake over there with some cardboard, and I started on a template. I don't know if this is fully what I want yet. There's still some more cutting and hacking to do, but now we get to decide how we want to make this look better. All right, so as you can see, I've made the template for our brake pedal, and we did some brakes, and I've gone ahead and I've measured where I'm going to drill, so that way I can use these dimple dies, and I think it'll turn out all right. Okay, so here's what we got going on. So as you can see, got the template, made all the brakes and the spots for the dimple die. And see those little holes that I punched? So I measured those, so that way we know exactly where to punch or drill. And set it on this, and kind of went for the crease lines, and so you can kind of line those up so you know where to put this piece of metal on the brake. And then we also used a hammer and a punch, and I started where we need to drill up to the correct sizes to slip the dimple die through, and we'll go ahead and we'll use that press over there to make the magic happen. Alright, so we've got our bead roll pattern, and we're going to send it. Okay, so here's our dimple die. We're going to squish it down to get that effect, and check out that bead roll line. Anyway, go through and do the rest, and then up next we'll use the brake. Okay, so before we move further, here's what we're looking at. Love those dimple dies. Alrighty, unfortunately my camera stand broke, so we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Here comes the brake. See that? Try to get that up to 90. All right, so here's the next part of our adventure while making the scatter shield for our Brake Master cylinder. This is how it turned out. I think it turned out slick. So as you can see, punch the dimple dies. I think they look pretty uniform. So anyway, I'd really like to cover the front of this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use some cardboard, and what I'll do is I'll trace around the front of it and I'll get my shape of what I need, but I'm also going to figure out a way to envelope it in, and you'll see what I mean by that later. So here we go. All right, so here's what the next step looks like. Trace your pattern. Then I went ahead and I've got the folds, so that way hopefully it'll be able to slide down in through here. But I've already went ahead and I've labeled where I need to like cut off little bits. And then we've got our template right here. And then up next, I think we'll just kind of figure out if we want to do a little design here or just leave it straight. So here we go. All right, so this is what, after cutting, you see all the little bits that I had marked. We're gonna run it through the brake, and we're gonna see if bending it like as one piece is a viable option. And yeah, not bad though, right? So we'll walk over to here. There you go. All right, there's one. Let's do the two. Okay. So normally we've got these gaps for a reason. Close that down. Close that down. Let's bring it up. Okay, go back. One. All right, last one. See? All right. Okay, here's our template. So I marked on the other side how I need to position the piece that we're gonna be making on the brake. Where this is going. This is the next step. Cut this out. I haven't decided if I want to run a dimple die or if I want to go ahead and do some like bead roll lines. It's kind of tough. I'm trying to keep them going with the theme of this. So we'll see what happens. It might take a couple of tries, but let's give it a shot. Okay, so at the beginning piece, haha, look at that. All right, a little more massaging, a little more trimming, but I think we got it. Okay, so same thing. This is our little finished product with the bends ends to envelope into that scatter shield. So here's that hole that we're going to use, or the punch mark right here. So we'll start our drilling, and we'll work our way up to the correct size for this dimple die. And you see how that's all beveled? And then we'll squish it down. Finally got it drilled up to the correct size for the dimple die. And you know, you can always use this part as a point of reference. And there you have it. So go ahead and add a little pinch of grease on here. And again, we'll run it through that press. And I think it's going to turn out pretty cool. So, not too bad. Alrighty, up next, I'm gonna go ahead and use this ruler. I'm gonna start at 1/2 inch, and I wanna go inch after that and go around and punch some holes for some spot welding, so that way they can weld onto these pieces, or tabs rather. Alright, so I had to change these up to every inch, and then we've got 3/4 of an inch, a little bit more on this side, and we've got 3/4 of an inch on this side. So it kind of varies on the piece, but that's what we're gonna go ahead and do, and then I'll show you the tool that I'm gonna use next. Alright, here's the hole punch. And I'm going ahead and I've made sure to set some lines, and I kind of just use this as a point of reference. So that way when I punch, I don't go beyond that, so I kind of keep it uniform. Alright, the holes are punched, and you can see the pieces in there, so what we're going to do is, oops, knock that over there a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and clamp this down. We're gonna spot weld here, here, and here. Okay, got it clamped down. Adjusted the gap about as well as I can. I might hammer this down a little bit. But yeah, we'll just fill these holes full of weld, and then that should keep that in place. And then later, probably not in this video, but we'll come back and we'll TIG weld that shut. Go ahead and grind these down flat, and we'll make it look like nothing ever happened. Okay, there you have it.